Well, Jonas, I want to kind of get into your educational pursuits because, amidst, you growing up in Asmara, being born in Syria, I mean, like I said in the intro, you're a PhD candidate. You're going for your PhD now, and you're going to finish in a few months.
Yeah.
I mean, where did the love of education come from? Because, I mean, most people like me, myself, I just completed my bachelor's. And for me, that was already enough. But for you to go to a PhD, to do, molecular immunology, where did that hunger, that love and drive for education come from?
That's a very good question because there's no I wouldn't say that it began at this point of my life or at this stage because it's always evolving, and it really comes like stage by stage, like phases, one phase after the other, and so my major is in biology, and my interest there kind of was it was triggered when I was in high school. So I remember when I was in high school, we used to have like practical days where we just go to the lab and do some experiments, some chemistry, physics, or whatever it was, or biology experiments. And I realized back then that I enjoyed that more than sitting in the classroom. So sitting in the classroom was fun, but actually when you go to the lab and you start doing things, it was absolutely different experience.
Hands-on.
Yeah, it was hands-on, and time flies by very quick because you're having fun.
Yeah.
And then if you're interested in in this kind of kind of investigation kind of environment, it's actually fun. So that's when I realized that I enjoy this. I enjoy being in the lab, and that led me to decide like what I want to go for my bachelor's. So that's when I decided, I don't want to spend a lot of time in the classroom, so I would like to do some kind of I would like to study something that keeps me in the lab. And that's when I decided to do like biotechnology as my bachelor's. And after that, basically, it's like a cascade of events, because once you start studying your bachelor's, you realize that there's a lot that you don't know. That's actually the biggest lesson we learn when we go to college, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You go in there, you learn something, and then you realize there is just a lot more. And the nature of my field is in a way that you are really trying to investigate biological questions that are important to find out, but we don't have answers for. So it's like a puzzle. So you have a lot of small pieces here and there. People all over the world are doing research to answer the small pieces that actually at the end fit into this whole puzzle. And that's when I decided, now I have the basic molecular skills or capability to work in the lab. And that's when it gets a little bit more exciting, because now you know how to work in the lab, how to do basic experiments, how to handle equipment, or techniques, molecular techniques. And then the exciting part begins, because now it's time to use those techniques to answer some biological questions.
Right.
And that's when you start, now I have this. So then I decided to do my master's.
Wow.
In biochemistry. And during that time, I basically got exposed to molecular immunology and innate immunity, and how basically the body fights infections, and how viruses kind of try to not only infect us, but also evade all our defense mechanisms.
Yes.
So there is this really intricate interplay between the environment and our body, basically. And that once I was exposed to that field, of course, when you do your master's, it's for 2 years, but there is just so much that you could learn during this time. Naturally, I wanted to do a little bit more, and I like that part of going after the unknown, so searching for, doing experiments, because this is a part where nobody knows the answer for.
Yeah.
And you are just going there, doing experiments, and seeing what you get out of it. And that basically led me to do my PhD, because I wanted to, learn a little bit more and then dig a little bit deeper into some of the questions that I was always interested in. So, yeah, basically to answer your question, it was a gradual interest that basically led me to do my
Right,
my
right.
PhD. Yeah.
Man, oh man. I mean, so much there. I have a friend actually who did his bachelor's in biochemistry
Okay.
just now too. So that I kind of saw the correlation there. That's interesting because it's like once you do something like you said, like you just uncover a lot of other doors and opportunities and things that you want to go down, and that's what was kind of happening for you. But I think that's really impressive, man. I think education's good. What is up, y'all? Thank you so much for tuning in to that episode. Make sure to click the subscribe, follow button, as well as the bell to get notified on all my new content that is coming out every Wednesday and every other day. And make sure to click that link in the description down below to get access to all my socials and any other platforms that I have my podcast on. And until next time, y'all, peace.